If Ferrari's flagship models were people at a dinner party, the F40 would be the chain-smoking war hero with explosive stories and a 1,000-yard stare. The Enzo would be the sleek, overconfident tech billionaire who won't shut up. The LaFerrari, that's your eco-conscious yoga instructor who can still throw a punch like Tyson. And then there's the F50. The half-naked Formula 1 enthusiast who showed up drunk, insisted on doing push-ups in the hallway, and demanded everyone admire his legs. Yes, the F50 is weird. It always has been, but it is also brilliant. Brutally so. And now that it's turned 30 years old, officially an antique in car years, it's finally getting the respect it should have received all along. But why did it take so long? Well, the trouble with being the sequel to the F40 is the same as trying to follow Freddie Mercury at karaoke. No matter how good you are, you're still not that. The F40 was raw, angry, unapologetic, and absurd. It was the car equivalent of being chased by a bear through an exploding fireworks factory. So when Ferrari announced the F50 in 1995, people wanted something just as savage. Instead, they got something different. The F50 was labeled as softer, less exciting, and some even saw it as a disappointment. This, by the way, is complete nonsense, because the F50 wasn't trying to be an F40. It was trying to be an F1 car with number plates. That's not a hyperbole either. This thing's engine was yanked right out of Ferrari's 1990 Formula 1 car. Not inspired by, not styled after. It was a proper V12 racing engine, detuned slightly so it didn't explode on your grocery run. Now, while the F40 was essentially a turbocharged cocaine addict with no creature comforts and a body made of lawn clippings, the F50 took a more scientific, more thoroughbred approach. Ferrari started with a clean sheet, no hand-me-downs from previous models, no leftover blueprints from the 288 GTO or the 348 or whatever else was lying around. This was fresh, new and unhinged. At the core of the F50 was a carbon fiber monocoque tub that weighed as much as a really fat dog, just 102 kilograms. To this they bolted the suspension and the powertrain directly. That's right, the engine is a load-bearing member of the chassis. In simpler terms, Ferrari decided that the best place to mount your rear suspension was directly onto your V12 engine. I will say, this did mean that you felt the engine. It was hard and aggressive and not really all that civilized, but it wasn't meant to be. Speaking of not civilized, there is no ABS, no traction control, no power steering, no flappy paddle gearbox, nothing. Just your hands, your feet, and 513 horsepower worth of Italian lunacy trying to shove you into the next corner. But before we go on, we must address the styling, which, like pineapple on pizza or Ed Sheeran's music, tends to divide people into two violently opposed factions. Yes, the F50 looks different. It's the sort of car that in photographs can look like it was designed with a butter knife and some Play-Doh. The rear wing looks like it was tacked on at the last minute. The front end looks too round, and there are gaping vents in strange places. But here's the thing. You have to see it in the flesh. You have to walk around it, feel the ridiculous proportions, see how wide it is, how low it is, and how ridiculous it is. And suddenly, it all makes sense. The F50 is not conventionally beautiful like the F355 or the 250 GTO. It's muscular, purposeful, like a pit bull. You don't want to take it on a date, you want to follow it into battle. But enough on styling, let's talk about that engine again, because frankly, it's the bit that should make you want to sell your house, your family, and your soul just to hear it scream once before you die. It's a 4.7-liter, naturally aspirated, 65-degree V12. It has 5 valves per cylinder, it revs to 8,500 RPM, and it makes noises that would excite a Formula 1 paddock. and it is bolted to a 6-speed gated manual gearbox that looks and feels like it was forged in the fires of Mount Doom. The clack of that lever sliding through its metal gate is quite honestly the automotive equivalent of Beethoven's Ninth. When you put your foot down, assuming you have the space and the guts, the F50 doesn't so much accelerate as warp. It screams, it snarls, and it goes completely berserk, all while you're gripping a steering wheel that offers no assistance. Of course, being a 1990s Ferrari with a Formula 1 chassis means it rides about as well as a shopping trolley full of anvils. If you hit a pothole in an F50, your fillings will rattle, your vision will blur, and you'll probably end up swearing in Italian for the rest of your life. But take it to the track or a smooth mountain pass and it comes alive. The steering talks to you, the suspension dances, and the engine, while the engine sings, it becomes a different car entirely. One that rewards bravery, precision, and a complete disregard for your own hearing. It doesn't flatter you like a modern hypercar with all its computers and modes and buttons. The F50 just is. And if you want to extract the best from it, you'd better bring your A-game. Now, only 349 F50s were made between 1995 and 1997. Ferrari could have built more, the orders were there, but in a rare moment of discipline, they decided not to. This, it turns out, was a brilliant decision, because while the F40 ended up with 1,315 examples roaming the earth, many of them red, all of them terrifying, the F50 remained a unicorn, a strange, beautiful, unpredictable unicorn with a V12 heart. When new, it cost about $480,000, but these days, you'll need more than $5 million to get one, and that's if you can find someone mad enough to sell theirs. So at the end, the Enzo that followed was faster, the LaFerrari was cleverer, but neither was as pure as the F50. For all of its quirks and flaws, it was the last truly analog Ferrari flagship model. The last one where everything you did, everything you felt, was real and mechanical. It may not be perfect, it may not be the crowd favorite, but the F50 doesn't care. It never did. It was too busy being an F1 car for the road, too busy screaming its head off, too busy terrifying and delighting its driver in equal measure. And now, 30 years on, the world is finally catching up, finally realizing that just maybe this strange, misunderstood red beast from Maranello was never trying to be the next F40. It was trying to be something else entirely, and in that sense, this thing succeeded. But at the end of this video, please let me know what you guys thought of the video and what is your opinion on the Ferrari F50. Again, I don't think this is the most beautiful Ferrari ever made, and I have heard that this thing is terrible to drive on a normal road, but it's a supercar, or technically a old school hypercar, so it was never meant to be comfortable. The whole point of this thing is to take it to the track and having the fastest thing on the track. So yeah, I think a lot of the complaints of this car is just because the people were using them wrong. But yeah, that's my opinion. Please let me know what you guys think down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please have a like and subscribe to the channel. Now, if you guys did like this video, you'll most probably enjoy most of my other stuff. So just go through my channel, see if there's something else to like. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers,